confident speaking podcast where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Hello, everyone. A warm welcome back to the Confident Speaking Podcast. I am Sophia, and I'm absolutely delighted that you're joining me today. If your ambition is to express yourself in English with greater fluency, develop a more natural rhythm in your speech, and feel truly self-assured in real-life conversations, then you have certainly come to the right place. This channel is meticulously designed to support you in practicing English each day in a progressive, step-by-step manner that mirrors how native speakers genuinely use the language in their daily interactions. Before we dive into our lesson, if you enjoy this learning experience, please take a moment to like this video. It helps the channel immensely. Also, be sure to subscribe so you won't miss any of our future English practice lessons. And please leave a comment below. I am always eager to know where you are tuning in from and which aspect of English, be it speaking, listening, or pronunciation, you are most focused on improving. All right, let's begin. Take a deep, calming breath. I want you to imagine something. Picture yourself sitting in a cozy, quiet cafe with a warm cup of coffee in your hand. All around you, you can hear the gentle hum of English conversations. You hear people laughing, asking each other questions, and sharing personal stories. You can understand a few words here and there, but not the entire conversation. You find yourself wishing you could effortlessly join in, feeling confident and speaking naturally. That exact scenario, that aspiration, is what we will be practicing today. Today's podcast is dedicated to real-life English conversations. We are going to explore the type of English that people use authentically every single day. Not the formal, textbook English, but the living, breathing language. Throughout our time together, you will discover how to listen more actively, how to formulate natural responses, and how to employ simple yet effective phrases that will make you sound significantly more fluent and confident. Let's start with a small but powerful truth. Fluency is not about speaking fast. It is about speaking smoothly. It is about being able to comprehend what others are saying and to respond without hesitation or fear. Therefore, in this session, I will guide you through authentic daily conversations, the kinds you would typically have with friends, colleagues, or even people you've just met. First, I will speak slowly and with great clarity. Then, we will repeat the phrases together. I encourage you to shadow my voice, which means you should listen and try to speak at the very same time as me. This is one of the most effective techniques to train both your ears and your mouth to move in sync with the natural rhythm of English. Let's warm up with a common real-life scene. Imagine you're at your workplace on a Monday morning. You step into the office, and a coworker greets you saying, "Hey, how was your weekend?" You smile and give your answer. "It was great, thanks. I went hiking with my friends. What about you?" Let's practice that. First, just the response. "It was great, thanks. I went hiking with my friends. What about you?" Now let's try to shadow the entire exchange with me. Listen and repeat at the same time. Are you ready? "Hey, how was your weekend?" "It was great. Thanks, I went hiking with my friends. What about you?" Excellent work. Can you feel how natural that exchange feels when you say it smoothly? That is the power of consistent practice. Here's another scenario. This time, you're meeting a friend at a cafe. Your friend says, "Hey, good to see you. How have you been?" You reply, "I've been pretty good. Just busy with work lately. How about you?" Now, let's shadow this dialogue together. "Hey, good to see you. How have you been?" "I've been pretty good. Just busy with work lately. How about you?" Very good. Take note of the rhythm. It's gentle, relaxed, and friendly. English is a language of rhythm and emotion, not just a collection of grammar rules and vocabulary words. Now, let's attempt something a little different. A brief, realistic dialogue at a restaurant. Waiter, hi there. Are you ready to order? You, yes, I'll have the grilled chicken with salad, please. Waiter, would you like something to drink? You, just water, thank you. Try to repeat those lines after me. Feel the tone. It should be polite, calm, and clear. This is precisely the kind of English that will serve you well in everyday life. It is these small interactions that build your fluency, because genuine fluency grows from simple, repeated moments just like this one. Now, I have a question for you. What is one English situation that tends to make you feel nervous? Is it talking to strangers, ordering food, or engaging in small talk? Please write your answer in the comments. I will do my best to read and reply to as many as I can, and your feedback might even inspire a new video lesson on that topic. Let's take this to the next level. Imagine you are traveling. You find yourself at an airport and someone approaches you and asks, "Excuse me, do you know where the check-in counter is?" You can reply simply, "Sure, it's just over there on the left." It's a simple exchange, isn't it? But these brief interactions are the building blocks of confidence. Each time you respond in English, even with a short phrase, your brain processes faster, your ears become more attuned, and your speech becomes more natural. Let's repeat that exchange together. Excuse me, do you know where the check-in counter is? Sure, it's just over there on the left. Now, get ready to shadow with me. Ready? Excuse me, do you know where the check-in counter is? Sure, it's just over there on the left. Excellent. One of the greatest secrets to achieving fluent English is to practice deep listening. Don't just concentrate on the individual words. Instead, listen for the rhythm, the emotion, and the pauses between phrases. English isn't a flat language. It has a musical quality to it. If you can begin to feel that rhythm, you can learn to speak with naturalness. So, let's try listening to and repeating one more natural example. This time, a casual phone call. Hey, I just wanted to check in. How's everything going? Oh, hey, everything's fine. Just been super busy lately. Now it's your turn. Hey, I just wanted to check in. How's everything going? Oh, hey, everything's fine. Just been super busy lately. That's wonderful. Every single conversation you listen to and repeat brings you one step closer to authentic fluency. You do not need to memorize extensive lists of vocabulary or complicated grammar rules. All you need to do is practice these small moments with focus, emotion, and growing confidence. Now take a brief moment to reflect. Which phrase that we practiced today felt the most natural for you to say? Was it the cafe conversation, the restaurant dialogue, or the exchange at the airport? Please leave your answer in the comments. When you physically write something down, it helps to strengthen your memory. Before we transition to part 2, let's practice one final mini conversation.
Hey, are you free this weekend?
Yeah, I think so. What's up?
I'm planning a barbecue at my place. You should come.
That sounds great. Got me in.
Now, let's repeat and shadow this together. Hey, are you free this weekend? Yeah, I think so. What's up? I'm planning a barbecue at my place. You should come. That sounds great. Count me in. That is real English, friendly, simple, and confident. You are doing an amazing job so far. In the next part, we will delve deeper into daily English conversations in various settings, at work, in social situations, and while traveling. I will also show you how to effectively use emotion, tone, and rhythm to sound genuinely fluent.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Part 2. Welcome back and congratulations on making it to Part 2. You are progressing wonderfully. Every time you actively listen, repeat, and shadow, you are conditioning your brain, your mouth, and your ears to operate in English. That process is exactly how fluent speakers are developed. In Part 1, we focused on common everyday conversations, including greetings, cafe interactions, and brief exchanges at places like restaurants and airports. Now, in Part 2, we are going to elevate our practice by moving into more specific real-world English conversations, the kind you truly need for professional settings, your social life, and when you travel. Let's begin with a typical morning routine at work. Picture this. You arrive at your office or classroom, and a colleague greets you with a warm smile, asking, "Good morning, how's everything?" You respond naturally, "Morning, everything's good, thanks. How about you?" Now, let's shadow this exchange together. "Good morning, how's everything?" "Morning, everything's good, thanks. How about you?" Do you notice how relaxed and comfortable that sounds? English fluency is not about achieving perfection. It's about sounding at ease. Let's continue that same conversation. Your coworker then says, "Did you get a chance to read that email from the manager?" You reply, "Not yet, but I'll check it right after this meeting." Let's repeat that part slowly. Did you get a chance to read that email from the manager? "Not yet, but I'll check it right after this meeting." Good. This is how English genuinely sounds in real offices every day: concise, polite, and clear. Now let's shift our focus to another practical, real-life situation. Asking for assistance politely. You could say, "Excuse me, could you help me with this?" Or for a slightly more informal approach, "Hey, do you have a minute?" Let's shadow those phrases. "Excuse me, could you help me with this?" "Hey, do you have a minute?" These expressions are incredibly common, and using them makes your English sound both kind and natural. Try to say them with a friendly tone, not too rushed and not too monotone. Now let's imagine someone asks you for help. You could respond in a number of natural ways, such as, "Sure, what's up?" Or, "Of course, what do you need?" Or even a simple, "Yeah, no problem." Let's repeat those after me. "Sure, what's up?" "Of course, what do you need?" "Yeah, no problem." That's it. These brief replies signal that you are friendly and approachable, which is a very important quality when speaking English with native speakers. Let's move on to another daily moment. Making small talk during a lunch or coffee break. Your coworker might say, "I can't believe how hot it is today." You could reply, "I know, right? It feels like summer already." Let's try that one together. "I can't believe how hot it is today." "I know, right? It feels like summer already." That is small talk, simple and relaxed, but incredibly useful for building connections with people. Here's another example. A coworker says, "The traffic this morning was terrible." You could respond with, "Tell me about it. I was stuck for almost an hour." Now repeat and shadow that with me. "The traffic this morning was terrible." "Tell me about it. I was stuck for almost an hour." That particular phrase, "tell me about it," is a very natural expression in English. It's a way of saying, "I completely agree with you." Let's pause for a moment. I want to ask you a question. Which type of English situation do you personally find the most challenging? Work, travel, or daily conversation? Please leave a comment below to let me know. I am keen to understand where you feel the most nervous or uncertain so that I can provide more targeted help in our future lessons. Now let's practice something even more advanced, conveying emotion and tone in your English. Imagine you're in a team meeting and a colleague shares a new idea. You could say, "That's interesting. I've never thought about it that way." Or if you strongly agree, you might say, "Exactly. That's such a good point." And if you're not completely sure but want to be polite, you could say, "I see what you mean, but maybe we could try something different." Let's shadow those lines together now. "That's interesting. I've never thought about it that way." "Exactly. That's such a good point. I see what you mean, but maybe we could try something different." These sentences demonstrate a range of feelings, curiosity, agreement, and diplomacy. And that is what fluent English is all about. It's not just about the words themselves, but about the feeling and intention behind them. Now let's picture another everyday moment. You're at the supermarket and you ask an employee, "Excuse me, where can I find the bread?" The staff member replies, "Aisle 4, next to the milk." You respond, "Thank you so much." And they say, "You're welcome. Have a nice day." Let's shadow that entire exchange together. "Excuse me, where can I find the bread?" Issa. "Aisle 4, next to the milk." "Thank you so much." "You're welcome. Have a nice day." Perfect. This is exactly what real everyday English sounds like: polite, friendly, and natural. Now, there is one thing I really want you to remember. Do not worry if you forget a word. Do not pause to translate everything in your head. Fluency develops when you learn to keep the conversation moving, even if you make a few mistakes along the way. Confidence is far more important than perfection. Here is a phrase I want you to hold on to. It's okay to make mistakes. Every mistake is a step forward. Repeat that with me now. It's okay to make mistakes. Every mistake is a step forward. Yes. Keep that sentence close to your heart because every single time you speak English, even imperfectly, you are improving. Now, let's move into a short listening practice. I'm going to read a brief daily story. Listen carefully and shadow along if you feel comfortable. Yesterday, I woke up late and almost missed my bus. When I got to work, my manager asked me to join an unexpected meeting. I was nervous, but I spoke clearly and shared my opinion. After the meeting, my coworker said, "Hey, nice job today." That small comment made me feel confident for the rest of the day. Now, let's repeat it together. Try to imitate my rhythm and tone. Yesterday, I woke up late and almost missed my bus. When I got to work, my manager asked me to join an unexpected meeting. I was nervous, but I spoke clearly and shared my opinion. After the meeting, my coworker said, "Hey, nice job today." That small comment made me feel confident for the rest of the day. Excellent. That is real English, natural and filled with emotion. So, before we conclude this part, let's quickly review what we've practiced. Office English, including polite questions and answers, small talk about topics like weather and traffic to build connection, and using emotion and tone to sound more authentic. You are doing an amazing job. In our next session, part 3, we will dive even deeper into advanced conversation practice. You will learn how to express opinions, share personal stories, and sound more self-assured in both social and professional environments. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep believing that your English is getting better because it truly is.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Part 3. Welcome back to part 3. You are doing wonderfully. Every time you shadow, repeat, and listen with focused attention, you are actively training your brain to think directly in English. And that is how true fluency genuinely begins. In this section, we are going to delve deeper into advanced conversation practice. You're going to learn how to express your opinions, how to agree or disagree in a natural way, and how to sound confident when you share your personal thoughts or experiences. Let's begin with a simple truth. Fluent English isn't just about mastering grammar rules. It's about knowing how to use your words smoothly and effectively in real conversations. So let's imagine you are talking to a friend, a colleague, or perhaps even someone you have just met. They ask you, "What do you think about working from home?" Now, let's practice 3 distinct ways you could answer that question naturally. First, a neutral opinion. I think working from home is convenient, but sometimes it's hard to focus. Next, a positive opinion. I actually love it. It saves time and I feel more comfortable. And finally, a polite disagreement. I understand why people like it, but personally, I prefer the office. I miss being around others. Let's shadow these sentences together now. I think working from home is convenient, but sometimes it's hard to focus. I actually love it. It saves time and I feel more comfortable. I understand why people like it, but personally, I prefer the office. I miss being around others. Very good. Notice how natural and conversational those responses sound. You're not using complicated vocabulary, you are using clear, real life English. Now, let's practice some specific phrases that will help you agree or disagree politely. To show agreement, you can use phrases like, I completely agree with you, and that's so true. Exactly, or I feel the same way. To show polite disagreement, you could say, I'm not sure I agree. I see your point, but I think, or that's interesting, but maybe we could look at it differently. Let's shadow these together. First, the agreement phrases. I completely agree with you. That's so true. Exactly. I feel the same way. Now, the disagreement phrases. I'm not sure I agree. I see your point, but I think. That's interesting, but maybe we could look at it differently. These short sentences will make your English sound polite, intelligent, and fluent. Now let's transition into sharing personal opinions with confidence. Sometimes English learners feel shy about speaking up because they are worried about being wrong. But please remember, in a real conversation, there is no such thing as a wrong opinion. There is only your honest voice. So, let's practice how to express your thoughts naturally. You can begin your sentences with these structures. I believe that, in my opinion, for me personally, or the way I see it. For example, I believe that learning a new language opens many doors. In my opinion, traveling helps people grow. For me personally, music makes studying easier. The way I see it, kindness is more important than money. Let's shadow those sentences slowly. I believe that learning a new language opens many doors. In my opinion, traveling helps people grow. For me personally, music makes studying easier. The way I see it, kindness is more important than money. Perfect. You are speaking like a fluent communicator. Now let's pause for a moment. I want you to think. What is one belief or opinion that is important to you? It could be something about life, success, or happiness. If you can, try to write it down or say it out loud. For instance, I believe that small steps lead to big changes. You are even welcome to share your sentence in the comments. I would genuinely love to read it. Let's continue with something powerful, expressing emotions and reactions. When you hear someone's story, you can react naturally by using short, emotional responses. For example, oh, really? That's amazing. No way, that must have been hard. Wow, I can't believe it. let's shadow those together. Oh, really? That's amazing. No way. That must have been hard. Wow, I can't believe it. These small reactions make your English sound alive and filled with emotion. They demonstrate that you are actively listening and that you care. Now, let's practice a short conversation that includes emotion.
I just got a new job in another city.
That's amazing. Congratulations. How do you feel about moving?
I'm excited, but also a little nervous.
I understand. It's always hard to start somewhere new.
Now, let's shadow that conversation slowly. I just got a new job in another city. That's amazing. Congratulations. How do you feel about moving? I'm excited, but also a little nervous. I understand. It's always hard to start somewhere new. Good. That's natural. Everyday English, warm, emotional, and clear. Now, let's practice asking for opinions, which is another crucial fluency skill. Here are some natural questions you can ask. What do you think about it? How do you feel about that? Do you agree or disagree? What's your opinion on this? And here is how you might respond. I think it's a great idea. I'm not sure, to be honest. I have mixed feelings about it. I totally disagree. Let's shadow both the questions and the answers. What do you think about it? How do you feel about that? Do you agree or disagree? What's your opinion on this? I think it's a great idea. I'm not sure, to be honest. I have mixed feelings about it. I totally disagree. Very well done. Now let's move into a short real-world listening and shadowing story. Please listen carefully to this brief daily life story. Last week, I went to a friend's birthday party. At first, I didn't know many people, so I felt shy. But then one girl came up to me and said, "Hi, I love your jacket." That small comment started a conversation. We talked about music, travel, and movies. By the end of the night, we became friends. That's the power of small talk. It can turn strangers into friends. Now, let's shadow the story slowly, sentence by sentence. Last week, I went to a friend's birthday party. At first, I didn't know many people, so I felt shy. But then, one girl came up to me and said, "Hi, I love your jacket." That small comment started a conversation. We talked about music, travel, and movies. By the end of the night, we became friends. That's the power of small talk. It can turn strangers into friends. Perfect. So, what is the lesson we can take from this? When you practice speaking English, don't wait for perfect grammar. Start small, say hello, ask a question, or give a compliment. Real fluency is built through connection, not through perfection. Remember that key idea, connection over perfection. You're doing great. Continue practicing these short dialogues every day. Speak them out loud and listen to them again and again until they feel completely natural. In the next part 4, we are going to explore storytelling in English. You will learn how to talk about your day, share your experiences, and describe moments using natural, authentic language. This will help you sound more confident, fluent, and expressive, just like a native speaker. I will see you in part 4.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Part 4. Welcome back to part 4. You are making incredible progress. Each time you listen to, repeat, and shadow these lessons, you are not just practicing the English language. You are actively training your brain to think, react, and communicate naturally in English. In the previous part, we worked on expressing opinions, conveying emotions, and engaging in polite conversation. Now, in this section, we are going to take another powerful step on our journey toward fluency: the art of storytelling. Storytelling is one of the most effective ways to improve your speaking and listening skills simultaneously. When you can tell a simple story in English about your day, an experience you had, or your thoughts on a topic, you naturally become more confident and expressive. So let's begin with something straightforward: how to talk about your day. Here is an example of a short daily narrative. Please listen carefully at first. Today was a busy day. I woke up early and made a cup of coffee. Then I went to work and had a meeting with my manager, and it was a bit stressful, but I learned something new. After work, I met my friend for dinner. We laughed a lot and talked about our weekend plans. Now I'm finally home and feeling relaxed. Now let's shadow that story together slowly. Today was a busy day. I woke up early and made a cup of coffee. Then I went to work and had a meeting with my manager. It was a bit stressful, but I learned something new. After work, I met my friend for dinner. We laughed a lot and talked about our weekend plans. Now I'm finally home and feeling relaxed. That is a complete story, simple, natural, and clear. It is the kind of story you can easily tell anyone in English. Let's practice building your own version of that story. Try changing the details to fit your own life. You could say something like, "Today was a relaxing day. I woke up late and watched a movie. I went shopping with my sister, and we had lunch at a small cafe. Now I'm feeling happy and ready for tomorrow." Notice how each sentence connects smoothly to the next. You don't need to use complicated words, you just need a clear structure and a good flow. Now, let's discuss how to make your stories more interesting. Good stories generally include three essential parts: what happened, how you felt about it, and what you learned or thought as a result. Let's try another short example. Last month, I took a short trip to the mountains. The view was beautiful, but it was freezing cold. I forgot to bring warm clothes, so I was shaking the whole time. Still, I loved the quiet and peace up there. It reminded me how important it is to take breaks and breathe. Now shadow it slowly with me. Last month, I took a short trip to the mountains. The view was beautiful, but it was freezing cold. I forgot to bring warm clothes, so I was shaking the whole time. Still, I loved the quiet and peace up there. It reminded me how important it is to take breaks and breathe. This is how English speakers tell stories, with simple sentences, emotional words, and a brief reflection at the end. Now let's practice some reaction phrases you can use when someone else is telling you a story. For example, "That sounds great." "Oh no, really? That must have been so fun." "I can imagine how you felt." "That's such a nice memory." Let's shadow these reaction phrases together. "That sounds great." "Oh no, really? That must have been so fun." "I can imagine how you felt." "That's such a nice memory." These small responses will make you sound natural and engaged in any conversation. Next, let's practice telling a story in the past tense using natural verbs and connectors. Here is a short story for you. Last weekend, I went to a new restaurant downtown. I didn't expect much, but the food was amazing. The staff were kind and the music was soft. I tried a new pasta dish and it was so good that I wanted to order it again. After dinner, I walked by the river and watched the city lights. It was a perfect night. Let's shadow it together. Last weekend, I went to a new restaurant downtown. I didn't expect much, but the food was amazing. The staff were kind and the music was soft. I tried a new pasta dish, and it was so good that I wanted to order it again. After dinner, I walked by the river and watched the city lights. It was a perfect night. Notice how I used simple verbs like went, tried, watched, and was. These verbs are easy to understand and sound very natural when speaking English. Now, let's break down the structure. We start with the time. Last weekend. Then the action. I went to a new restaurant. Then we add details. The food was amazing. Finally, we include emotion. It was a perfect night. That is a basic storytelling structure that you can use for almost anything. Let's practice one more story, this time about a small problem. Yesterday, I lost my umbrella on the bus. It started raining just after I got off. I was completely wet by the time I got home. At first, I was frustrated, but then I laughed. Sometimes life is just funny like that. Let's shadow it together slowly. Yesterday, I lost my umbrella on the bus. It started raining just after I got off. I was completely wet by the time I got home. At first, I was frustrated, but then I laughed. Sometimes life is just funny like that. Good. Did you notice the rhythm in that story? English stories sound more natural when you keep your sentences relatively short and full of emotion. Now, let's practice some useful storytelling connectors. These words help your story flow in a natural way. Please listen and repeat after me. First, then, after that, later, finally. For example, first I finished my homework. Then I watched a movie. After that, I called my friend. Later we met for a coffee. Finally, I went home and slept. Let's shadow that sequence. First, I finished my homework. Then I watched a movie. After that, I called my friend. Later, we met for coffee. Finally, I went home and slept. Beautiful. You're doing great. Now let's make this exercise more personal. I want you to think about your day yesterday. What did you do? What did you eat? How did you feel? Try to say it out loud in English, even if your story is very short. For example, yesterday I went to work. It was a busy day, but I felt productive. In the evening, I cooked dinner and watched a show. It was a nice, quiet day. Practice saying something similar to that. You can even share your short story in the comments if you would like to get some feedback or connect with other learners. Remember, when you tell your own stories, you make the English language your own. It stops being just a subject you study and becomes a language that you truly live. Now, before we end this part, let's repeat one powerful sentence together. Every time I tell my story in English, I become more fluent. Say it again. Every time I tell my story in English, I become more fluent. That is exactly what is happening for you right now. In the next part, part 5, we will take storytelling even further. We will practice describing people, places, and emotions using natural English expressions that will make your speech sound more vivid and alive. So keep up your energy, stay confident, and I will see you in part 5.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Part 5. Welcome to part 5. You are doing an absolutely amazing job. By this point, you have learned how to construct short, clear stories in English. You are now able to describe your day, share experiences, and use simple connectors such as first, then, and finally. Now, in this section, we will focus on a skill that truly makes your English sound alive, using descriptive language. You will learn how to describe people, places, and feelings in a manner that sounds both natural and emotional, just like a native speaker would. Let's begin with describing people. When we describe someone, we typically talk about 3 main things: what they look like, their physical appearance, what they are like, their personality, and how they make us feel. Here is an example for you. Please listen carefully. My best friend's name is Sarah. She has long brown hair and bright green eyes. She's always smiling and full of energy. Sarah is the kind of person who makes everyone feel comfortable. When I'm around her, I feel happy and safe. Now let's shadow that description together slowly. My best friend's name is Sarah. She has long brown hair and bright green eyes. She's always smiling and full of energy. Sarah is the kind of person who makes everyone feel comfortable. When I'm around her, I feel happy and safe. That is a very natural and warm way to describe someone you care about. Let's practice a few useful adjectives for describing people. Repeat them after me. For appearance: tall, short, slim, fit, beautiful, handsome, cute, stylish. For personality: kind, funny, smart, honest, confident, shy, caring, creative. Now let's use some of those in short examples. She's a tall and confident woman. He's funny and always tells jokes. My teacher's kind and patient. My brother is very creative and loves drawing. Good. These sentences are simple yet very natural. Now let's move on to describing places. When you describe a place, try to think about these elements: what you can see, what you can hear or smell, and how the place makes you feel. Here is an example. My favorite place is a small coffee shop near my house. It's quiet and cozy. The smell of fresh coffee fills the air, and soft music plays in the background. The walls are full of books and the lights are warm. I love sitting there and reading on rainy days. Now, let's shadow that description together slowly. My favorite place is a small coffee shop near my house. It's quiet and cozy. The smell of fresh coffee fills the air and soft music plays in the background. The walls are full of books and the lights are warm. I love sitting there and reading on rainy days. Can you see how that description paints a picture in your mind? You can almost feel what it's like to be in that place. That is how English speakers make their words come alive. Let's try another example, this time describing a natural place. The beach near my city is beautiful. The sand is soft and the water is bright blue. I love the sound of the waves and the smell of the ocean. When I walk barefoot on the sand, I feel peaceful and free. Now, shadow that with me. The beach near my city is beautiful. The sand is soft and the water is bright blue. I love the sound of the waves and the smell of the ocean. When I walk barefoot on the sand, I feel peaceful and free. Nice. You're doing great. Now, let's practice describing feelings because emotions are what make your English sound powerful and real. Let's start with some useful words for emotions. Positive feelings: happy, excited, proud, relaxed, hopeful, loved, confident. Negative feelings: sad, worried, tired, angry, nervous, lonely, disappointed. Let's use them in some simple sentences. I felt happy when I met my friends. I was nervous before the exam. She looked tired after work. He seemed proud of his achievement. We were relaxed during our vacation. Let's shadow those sentences together. I felt happy when I met my friends. I was nervous before the exam. She looked tired after work. He seemed proud of his achievement. We were relaxed during our vacation. Great. Now, let's combine everything we've learned by describing a moment that includes people, a place, and emotion. Here's an example story. Last Sunday, my family and I went to the park. The weather was warm and the sky was clear. My little brother ran around playing with his kite, and my parents sat on the grass laughing. I felt peaceful watching them. It was a simple day, but it made me feel truly happy. Now, let's shadow it together slowly. Last Sunday, my family and I went to the park. The weather was warm and the sky was clear. My little brother ran around playing with his kite, and my parents sat on the grass laughing. I felt peaceful watching them. It was a simple day, but it made me feel truly happy. That is natural, emotional English, full of small, clear details that help the listener feel something. Let's practice one more short description, this time about a person and a feeling. My grandmother is one of the strongest people I know. She has soft gray hair and kind eyes. She always listens when I talk and gives me the best advice. Whenever I visit her, I feel calm and loved. Now, shadow it. My grandmother is one of the strongest people I know. She has soft gray hair and kind eyes. She always listens when I talk and gives me the best advice. Whenever I visit her, I feel calm and loved. You did wonderfully. So, to describe people, places, and emotions naturally in English, remember these 3 rules. First, keep it simple by using short, clear sentences. Second, use your senses by describing what you see, hear, or feel. And third, add emotion by saying how that person or place makes you feel. And always remember, when you can feel what you are saying, your English becomes more powerful and much more real. Let's repeat today's key sentence together. When I describe people and places in English, my words come alive. Say it again. When I describe people and places in English, my words come alive. Beautiful. In part 6, we will learn how to use advanced conversation patterns to communicate more smoothly, including how to agree, disagree, and share opinions naturally, just like native speakers. So stay with me. You are becoming more confident with each passing day.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Part 6. Welcome back to part 6 of our English listening and speaking practice podcast. In the last session, you learned how to describe people, places, and feelings in English by using your senses, emotions, and clear language to make your speech sound natural and vibrant. Now, in this part, we are going to take another significant step forward. We will practice how to agree, disagree, and share your opinions in a natural way, just as native speakers do in their daily lives. This is important because in real conversations, we don't just state facts, we react, we respond, and we share what we think. So today, I will guide you through the natural expressions that can make your conversation sound more fluent, confident, and polite. Let's begin with the skill of agreeing in English. When you want to express that you feel the same way as someone, try to avoid always just saying, "Yes, I agree." While that is grammatically correct, it can sound overly formal or a bit too brief. Native speakers use a wide variety of phrases to show agreement. Please listen and then shadow after me. I totally agree with you. That's so true. You're absolutely right. I couldn't agree more. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I feel the same way. Now, let's use those phrases in short real-life examples.
Learning English takes time and practice.
That's so true. You really have to practice every day.
I think reading aloud helps with pronunciation.
Exactly. It really helps your mouth get used to the sounds.
It's important to listen to English every day.
I couldn't agree more. Listening builds fluency naturally.
Great. Those responses sound warm and authentic. Now let's move on to the art of disagreeing politely. In English, it is perfectly acceptable to disagree, but we generally do it in a respectful and friendly manner. Here are some natural ways to express polite disagreement. Shadow these phrases after me. I see your point, but I think that's true. But maybe I'm not sure I agree with that. I get what you mean, but I feel differently. Well, I have a different opinion. Now let's try them in some short conversations.
I think watching movies is a waste of time.
I see your point, but I think movies can help with listening and vocabulary.
Grammar isn't important for speaking.
That's true, but maybe a little grammar helps you sound clearer.
You can't learn English if you're not in an English-speaking country.
Well, I have a different opinion. With the internet, you can practice anywhere.
Do you see? You are disagreeing politely while still showing confidence. That is the secret to having fluent and respectful English conversations. Now let's practice sharing your opinions. This is where your English can become more personal and expressive. When you want to share your thoughts, don't limit yourself to just saying, I think. There are many other natural ways to express your opinion. Repeat these after me. I believe that, in my opinion, to me, as far as I'm concerned, if you ask me, personally, I think. Now let's use them in some real sentences. I believe that learning English should be fun. In my opinion, speaking is the best way to improve quickly. To me, confidence is more important than perfect grammar. As far as I'm concerned, everyone can speak English if they practice daily. If you ask me, listening to podcasts is a great way to learn naturally. Personally, I think English connects people around the world. Now, let's shadow them together slowly. I believe that learning English should be fun. In my opinion, speaking is the best way to improve quickly. To me, confidence is more important than perfect grammar. As far as I'm concerned, everyone can speak English if they practice daily. If you ask me, listening to podcasts is a great way to learn naturally. Personally, I think English connects people around the world. You sound fantastic. Now let's put all three of these skills together, agreeing, disagreeing, and sharing opinions in a real conversation example. Please listen carefully.
I think learning English online is harder than learning in person.
I see your point, but I think it depends on the person. Some people learn better online.
Yeah, that's true, but it's harder to stay motivated when you're alone.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. Motivation is the hardest part.
That's natural, friendly, and very real. Now, let's practice a second dialogue where opinions are shared a little differently.
In my opinion, grammar isn't everything.
I couldn't agree more. Communication is the key.
Right, and if you ask me, people should focus more on pronunciation.
That's so true. Speaking clearly builds confidence.
Do you hear how natural that sounds? This is how real English conversations flow. They are short, emotional, and full of rhythm. Now, let's practice a few short conversational patterns together. These are excellent for daily use. That's interesting. I never thought about it that way. Yeah, I totally get what you mean. I see what you're saying. Exactly. That's what I was thinking too. Well, I'm not sure I agree, but that's an interesting idea. Try saying them with genuine emotion and tone. Imagine you are talking to a good friend, not just reading from a textbook. Now, here's a small challenge for you. Think of a topic that you care about, perhaps learning English, technology, food, or travel. Then write 2 sentences to share your opinion on that topic. For example, personally, I think traveling helps you understand the world better. Then, in the comments section, try to reply to another learner's opinion politely. You can either agree or disagree using the phrases you learned today. This will help you practice real communication, not just repeating sentences. Now, let's summarize today's key point. Fluent English is not just about grammar or vocabulary. It is about connection, knowing how to respond, react, and express yourself with both confidence and kindness. Repeat these affirmations after me. I can share my opinions in English confidently. I can agree and disagree politely. I can sound natural when I speak. In part 7, we will go even deeper, learning how to extend conversations, ask insightful follow-up questions, and keep a conversation going naturally, just like native speakers do. You are doing great. Your English voice is getting stronger, more confident, and more real every day.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Part 7. You have done so well so far, learning how to share opinions, agree, disagree, and sound natural in your conversations. Now, it is time for us to take another significant step toward fluency. In this part, we are going to learn how to keep a conversation going in a natural way by using simple questions, reactions, iwash, and comments that make you sound friendly, confident, and genuinely interested. This is a crucial skill because one of the biggest challenges that English learners face is this. They can successfully start a conversation, but then it comes to an abrupt stop. They simply don't know what to say next. Have you ever experienced that? Someone asks you, "How are you?" or "What do you do?" You answer them politely, but then the conversation just dies. Well, today, that is going to change. By the end of this lesson, you will know exactly how to keep a conversation alive, naturally, easily, and confidently. Let's begin with this important idea. A good conversation is not about talking a lot. It's about building a connection. And you create that connection by showing interest. So, how do you show interest? You do it by asking simple, natural follow-up questions. For example, if someone says, "I love watching movies," you could respond with, "Oh, really? What kind of movies do you like?" Or you could say, "Same here. What's your favorite movie?" Let's shadow that together. "Oh, really? What kind of movies do you like?" "Same here. What's your favorite movie?" Those small questions make a huge difference. They show the other person that you are listening, and they make them want to continue talking to you. Let's try another one. If someone says, "I just started learning guitar," you can respond with, "That's cool. How long have you been learning?" Or you might say, "Nice. Why did you decide to start playing?" Now, shadow those with me. "That's cool. How long have you been learning?" "Nice. Why did you decide to start playing?" Perfect. Those short questions sound friendly, natural, and fluent. Now, here's something important to note. When you ask a question, try not to make it sound too formal. Native speakers often use relaxed, shorter forms. For instance, instead of saying, "What are you interested in?" they might say, "Oh, yeah, what kind of things are you into?" Instead of asking, "What do you enjoy doing in your free time?" You will more often hear, "So, what do you like to do for fun?" Repeat those after me. What kind of things are you into? What do you like to do for fun? Now you sound more natural, like someone who genuinely speaks English in their daily life. Let's listen to a short example conversation.
I love cooking.
Oh, really? What kind of food do you like to cook?
Mostly Italian food. I love making pasta.
Nice. How did you learn to cook?
From my mom. She's amazing in the kitchen.
That's so sweet. Do you cook every day?
Do you see how natural that exchange feels? It's simple, just one small question after another, building a connection. That is what real English conversation looks like. Now, let's learn some useful phrases that can help you react and continue the conversation. When you want to show that you are listening and interested, you can say things like, "Really? Wow, that's interesting." No way. Are you serious? Sounds fun. That's cool. Ah, that's nice. Tell me more about that. Then what happened? Try shadowing those with me slowly. Really? Wow, that's interesting. No way. Are you serious? It sounds fun. That's cool. Ah, that's nice. Tell me more about that. Then what happened? You can use these reactions in any conversation, whether it's about work, travel, hobbies, or just life in general. Now, let's look at how you can turn short answers into longer, more engaging ones. For example, if someone asks you, "What do you do?" don't just say, "I'm a student." That response ends the conversation. Instead, add a little more detail, like this: "I'm a student. I'm studying computer science, and I really enjoy it." Or, "I'm a student, and I'm trying to improve my English to study abroad." That's just one extra sentence, but it makes your answer much more interesting. Let's try another one. Question: Where are you from? You could say, "I'm from Vietnam. It's a beautiful country in Southeast Asia." Or, "I'm from Thailand. It's hot, but the food is amazing." Do you see how those extra details make the conversation more colorful? Let's shadow them together. "I'm a student. I'm studying computer science, and I really enjoy it." "I'm a student, and I'm trying to improve my English to study abroad." "I'm from Vietnam. It's a beautiful country in Southeast Asia." "I'm from Thailand. It's hot, but the food is amazing." That is how fluent speakers sound. They don't necessarily speak fast, they just add a little more detail. Now, let's combine everything into a short conversation.
So, what do you do?
I'm a student. I study design at university.
Oh, that's nice. Why did you choose design?
I've always loved art, and I want to work in fashion one day.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Do you design clothes?
A little bit, but mostly digital art right now.
That conversation sounds alive, friendly, and real. Now, here is something for you to practice. Every time you speak English, even if you are just practicing by yourself, try to continue your answers naturally. For example, if you say, "I like coffee," add something like, "I usually drink it every morning." If you say, "I live in Bangkok," add, "It's a busy city, but it's also exciting." If you say, "I study English," add, "I want to use it to travel and meet people." That is what transforms short English into fluent English. Let's shadow these together. "I like coffee. I usually drink it every morning." "I live in Bangkok. It's busy but exciting." "I study English. I want to use it to travel and meet people." Now I want you to try it yourself. In your notebook or in the comments section, write 3 short answers about yourself. Then add 1 or 2 more sentences to make each answer more complete. For example, "I work in an office. I help manage projects for a company in my city." Or, "I love music. I usually listen to pop songs while I study." Or, "I have a dog. His name is Milo and he's very playful." When you practice like this, your brain starts to think in English instead of translating fit your native language. That is how you become more fluent. Let's end this part with a quick challenge. I am going to ask you a few common questions. Answer them naturally, either in your mind or out loud. What do you do? Where are you from? What do you like to do for fun? How often do you practice English? What kind of movies do you like? Did you add extra details to your answers? If you did, great job. You are learning how to flow in English, not just to speak, but to connect. Now, take a deep breath and say this with me. I can keep conversations going naturally. I can ask follow-up questions. I can sound confident and friendly in English. Excellent. In part 8, we will move on to something that every fluent speaker masters: how to tell small stories in daily conversation. You will learn how to describe your experiences, talk about your memories, and tell little stories that sound natural and interesting in English. You're doing wonderfully so far. Keep listening, shadowing, and speaking along. Your fluency is growing one sentence at a time.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Part 8. Welcome back, my friend. You are progressing so well. You have been learning how to sound more fluent, more confident, and more natural in English. Now, in this part, let's go even deeper into real-life situations, particularly those that occur at work or in your social life. This is important because speaking English is not just about knowing the right words. It's about using them smoothly at the right moment, with the right tone and the right level of confidence. Let's begin with some work-related situations. Imagine you're in a meeting with your team. You want to share your idea clearly, but you don't want to come across as too aggressive or too timid. Here are some natural phrases you can use. I'd like to share an idea, if that's okay. I believe we could try another approach. From my experience, this method usually works well. I see your point, but maybe we can also consider this. Do you see how polite and professional those phrases sound? They are not overly complicated. They are clear, confident, and respectful. Now let's practice shadowing these together. Please repeat after me and try to match my tone, speed, and rhythm. Are you ready? I'd like to share an idea, if that's okay. I believe we could try another approach. From my experience, this method usually works well. I see your point, but maybe we can also consider this. Very nice. Now, in many professional workplaces, people use what are called softeners, short phrases that make what you say sound friendlier and more natural. For example, I think, it seems like, maybe we could, perhaps we should. Using these words doesn't make you sound weak. It makes you sound polite and thoughtful. Now let's shift to a different setting, social situations. Imagine you meet someone new at a coffee shop, at a friend's party, or perhaps in a class. How do you start a natural conversation? Let's picture this scenario. You. Hi, I don't think we've met before. I'm Alex. Other person. Oh, hi, I'm Jamie. Nice to meet you. You. Nice to meet you too, Jamie. So, how do you know Sarah? That's it. Very natural and very friendly. Many English learners worry too much about saying something absolutely perfect. But real English is about making a connection, not about achieving perfection. Let's practice a few more natural conversation openers. So, what do you do? That's a nice jacket. Where did you get it? Have you been to this place before? This coffee smells amazing, doesn't it? These are small phrases, but they effectively open the door to bigger conversations. Now, let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. So, what do you do? That's a nice jacket. Where did you get it? Have you been to this place before? This coffee smells amazing, doesn't it? Excellent. Now, let's talk about how to continue a conversation naturally. Sometimes you might ask a question, and the other person gives you a very short answer. What do you do next? You can keep the conversation going by showing your interest. Let's see how that sounds.
I'm studying business.
Oh, really? That's interesting. What kind of business?
I work in marketing.
That's cool. Do you enjoy it?
I just moved here.
Oh, wow. From where?
Did you notice what happened in those exchanges? The listener didn't just say, okay, or nice. They asked another question to keep the conversation alive. Here is your mini practice. Try shadowing me again. Ready? Oh, really? That's interesting. What kind of business is... That's cool. Do you enjoy it? Oh, wow. From where? very natural. You can also use reaction phrases to sound more fluent. For example, wow, that's great. Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's amazing. No way that happened. These short reactions make your English sound alive and friendly. Now, let's imagine a short, real-life scene. You are having lunch with your coworkers. Coworker, I finally finished that big project yesterday. You, oh, really? That's great. You must feel so relieved. Coworker, yeah, I stayed up late for a week. You, wow, that's tough. I hope you get some rest this weekend. Perfect. In that exchange, you sound kind, natural, and fluent. Let's reflect for a moment. Fluent English is not about speaking quickly, it's about connecting with others smoothly. It's about feeling comfortable within the conversation, and that comfort comes with practice, real, emotional, daily practice. Now, I want to ask you a question. Which situation do you personally find more difficult? Speaking at work or speaking in social settings? Please tell me in the comments below. I would love to know where you feel more confident and where you might like some more help. In the next part, we will go even deeper into what I call emotional fluency. That means learning how to express your feelings, reactions, and opinions naturally, just like native speakers do, not like a textbook. You will learn phrases to express happiness, surprise, worry, or excitement in a natural conversational way. This is where your English will truly start to feel alive. You are doing great, my friend. Take a deep breath. You have come so far. When you are ready, join me in part 9, where we will explore the power of emotion and expression in real-life English speaking.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Part 9. Welcome back, my friend. You are doing an amazing job. By now, you've learned how to navigate conversations at work, how to initiate conversations with new people, and how to project a confident and natural presence in English. But there is one more element that makes your English truly come alive, and that is emotional fluency. Emotional fluency means being able to express what you feel, not just what you think. It's how you convey happiness, surprise, concern, excitement, disappointment, or even love in a natural human way. This is crucial because real English is not just about grammar and vocabulary, it is about emotion and connection. Let's start with a simple scenario. Imagine you hear some good news from a friend. What do you say? You could say, "That's great. I'm so happy for you." Or, "Wow, that's amazing." Or, "Oh, I love that." Now, let's practice shadowing these together. Try to say these sentences with genuine feeling, not just as words, but as expressions of emotion. Are you ready? That's great. I'm so happy for you. Wow, that's amazing. Oh, I love that. Good. You can feel the positive energy, right? Now imagine you hear something surprising. Your tone would naturally change a little. You might say, "Really? Oh, no way. You're kidding. Are you serious?" Try saying these with me now. Ready? Really? Oh, no way. You're kidding. Are you serious? Nice. Next, let's practice expressing worry or sympathy. Sometimes someone might tell you something sad or stressful. In those moments, you want to sound kind and caring. Here's how you can respond. "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That sounds really hard. Are you okay? Is there anything I can do?" Let's practice shadowing these phrases with a soft and caring tone. "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That sounds really hard. Are you okay? Is there anything I can do?" Perfect. You're not only speaking English, you are feeling in English. Now, let's talk about excitement and joy. These are powerful emotions that can make you sound alive and confident. You could say, "Wow, that's awesome. I can't believe it. That's so cool. I'm so proud of you." Let's practice these again. "Wow, that's awesome. I can't believe it. That's so cool. I'm so proud of you." Do you notice how your voice naturally becomes brighter? That is what makes native speakers sound so expressive and warm. Now, let's touch upon disappointment or frustration. Sometimes you want to express that you are upset, but you still want to do it in a polite or natural way. You could say, "That's really disappointing." "Oh no, that's too bad. I was really hoping it would work out." "Well, that's frustrating." Let's shadow those together slowly. "That's really disappointing." "Oh no, that's too bad. I was really hoping it would work out." "Well, that's frustrating." Very natural. Now, here is something very important to understand. In real life, emotion is not just about what you say, but also about how you say it. Native speakers use intonation, the rise and fall of the voice, to express emotion. The same words, but completely different emotions. That is the beauty of English. Tone gives meaning to the words. Here is something I want you to remember. When you can express emotions naturally in English, people don't just understand your words, they feel your message. That is what makes conversations meaningful. That is what makes you sound fluent, confident, and real. Now, let's reflect for a moment. When you speak English, do you often feel shy about expressing your emotions? Perhaps you worry about sounding too strong or too dramatic. Here's a little secret. Native speakers use emotion all the time. That is why their speech sounds so alive. And when you do it too, even just a little, people will feel much more comfortable talking with you. Now, let's try a mini story practice. Imagine you are meeting a friend who just got a new job. "Hey, I heard the news. You got the job, right?" Friend, "Yes, I did." "That's amazing. I'm so happy for you. You totally deserve it." Simple words, but full of positive energy and emotion. Or let's try another one. Friend, "I failed my driving test again." You, "Oh no, I'm so sorry. That must feel really disappointing. But hey, don't give up. You'll get it next time." Do you see? That is emotional fluency. You sound natural, warm, and real. Now it's your turn. Practice creating your own short conversations where you show different emotions: happiness, surprise, sadness, or pride. If you would like, you can even write your practice sentences in the comments below. I would be so happy to read them. In the next part 10, we will go even deeper into advanced, natural speaking flow. You will learn how native speakers connect their words, shorten phrases, and use a natural rhythm so that your English will sound smooth and effortless. We will explore how to transition from textbook English to real spoken English. So take a short break, get some water, and when you are ready, join me in part 10, where we will make your English sound truly fluent.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Part 10. Welcome back, my friend. You have journeyed so far, and now we are about to step into one of the most exciting aspects of your English development: achieving a natural flow and mastering connected speech. This is the very element that makes native speakers sound so smooth, confident, and natural. It is also the secret behind why, even when you understand every single word in a sentence, spoken English can still sound incredibly fast and difficult to comprehend. The reason is not that native speakers are using complex grammar. It is because they connect their words together, reduce certain sounds, and speak with a distinct rhythm. But don't worry, you are about to learn exactly how you can do that too. Let's begin with a simple example. When we speak very slowly and deliberately, we might say, I am going to eat now. But in natural, connected English, that phrase sounds more like, I'm gonna eat now. Did you hear the difference? Going to becomes gonna. This is not slang. This is a feature of natural spoken English. Let's try another one. Instead of, what are you doing? We often say, what you doing? And did you eat yet becomes jeet yet? Try shadowing these with me now. I'm gonna eat now. What you doing? Jeet yet? Good. This is how you start to sound like a fluent speaker, not by using difficult vocabulary, but by speaking in a natural, connected way. Now, let's examine how native speakers link words together. When one word ends with a consonant sound and the next word begins with a vowel sound, they often join together to sound almost like one long word. For example, "Nguer," take it easy sounds like take it easy. Or turn off the light sounds like turn off the light. Try these with me, first slowly, then with a more natural connection. Take it easy. Turn off the light. Pick it up. Sit down. Look at it. Can you hear how much smoother it becomes? That is the power of connected speech. Now let's practice a few common natural reductions, which are small changes that native speakers make when they talk quickly. Want to often becomes wanna. For example, I want to go becomes I wanna go. Got to often becomes gotta. For example, I've got to leave becomes I gotta leave. Let me often becomes lemme. For example, let me help you becomes let me help you. Give me often becomes gimme. For example, gimme a second becomes gimme a second. Now let's shadow these together. Repeat after me. I wanna go. I gotta leave. Let me help you. Give me a second. Nice job. You are sounding more natural already. Now, let's add intonation, which is the melody of the English language. English is what is known as a stress-timed language, which means we emphasize some words and say others very softly and quickly. For example, listen carefully to this sentence. I want to go to the store. The strong, stressed words are want, go, and store. The other words, to and the, are weak and quick. That is why English often sounds like music. It has a rhythm. Let's try this sentence together. I need to talk to you about something. Now try to say it with a rhythm, not as individual words, but in small beats. I need to talk to you about something. Very good. You are not just speaking English, you are starting to feel the rhythm of English. Now, let's practice some full natural sentences. Slow version, do you want to come with me? Natural version, do you want to come with me? Slow version, I have to go to the office. Natural version, I have to go to the office. Slow version, could you help me with this? Natural version, could you help me with this? Try shadowing these natural versions now. Say them out loud. Do you want to come with me? I have to go to the office. Could you help me with this? Perfect. That is real, spoken English. Now, let's talk about thought groups. Native speakers don't speak in one long, continuous sentence. They naturally break their speech into smaller chunks, which are short groups of meaning. Listen to this example. I went to the park yesterday, and I met my friend for a quick walk. That's 3 thought groups, not one long line. These natural pauses help your listener understand you better, and they also help you sound more natural. Now let's practice this skill with emotion and flow. Say this sentence with me, pausing where I do. I was walking home last night and I suddenly heard a strange sound behind me. Can you hear how much more natural that sounds with the short pauses? That is how native speakers breathe while they are talking. It makes your English sound confident and calm. Now, let's do a quick mini conversation practice using connected speech.
Hey, what are you up to?
Not much. Just hanging out. You?
Same here. Want to grab a coffee?
Yeah, sounds good. Give me 5 minutes.
All of those lines are full of natural flow and reductions. And when you practice like this, your listening and your speaking skills both improve very quickly. Let's shadow it together, line by line. Hey, what are you up to? Not much, just hanging out. You? Same here. Want to grab a coffee? Yeah, sounds good. Give me 5 minutes. Nice. That is real life English. Now, let's reflect for a moment. When you first started learning English, you probably focused on individual words and grammar rules, saying things like, I am going to eat, or what are you doing? But now you are able to speak with a natural rhythm, with emotion, and with flow. That is what fluency is. That is what confidence sounds like. Before we finish today's practice, I want to remind you of something very important. It is not about speaking fast, it is about speaking smoothly. Fluency is flow, not speed. So, take your time. Practice slowly at first and only speed up when you feel comfortable and ready. Remember, fluency is a journey. And every time you shadow, every time you listen carefully and repeat with genuine feeling, you are getting closer to mastering the real rhythm of English. In our next and final part 11, we will bring everything we have learned together. You will practice advanced daily conversations that combine emotion, rhythm, and connected speech, and you will see how you can sound completely natural in any situation. So, take a deep breath, feel proud of how far you have come, and get ready for the final step in your fluency journey. Part 11 is coming up next.
Confident Speaking Podcast, where you can learn to speak English with natural rhythm, real confidence, and fluency.
Part 11. Welcome back, my friend. You have successfully made it to the final part of this English fluency masterclass, and I am incredibly proud of you. You have learned how to speak with clarity, listen with understanding, express your emotions, use natural rhythm, and connect your speech just like a native speaker. Now, it is time for us to bring everything together in one powerful, comprehensive fluency practice session. This part is designed to feel like real life. You will shadow, listen, repeat, and truly feel the English language come alive in your mouth and in your mind. So, take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and smile. Let's begin. Scene 1. At a coffee shop.
Hey, long time no see. How have you been?
Oh, hey. I've been good. Just super busy with work. You know how it is.
Yeah, totally. I've been crazy busy too. Can you believe it's already October?
I know, right? Time flies. So, how's everything going?
Not bad. I'm trying to slow down a bit, take better care of myself.
That's smart. I've been thinking about doing the same.
This is how real people talk, in a friendly, natural, and connected way. Notice the use of contractions like I've, I'm, it's, and how's. They are essential for sounding fluent and relaxed. Scene 2. At work, given feedback.
Hey, can I talk to you for a sec?
Sure, what's up?
I just wanted to say you did a great job on that project. The presentation was really clear.
Thanks so much. I was a bit nervous, to be honest.
You couldn't tell at all. You looked confident. Just one small thing, maybe slow down a little next time.
Got it. Yeah, I tend to talk fast when I'm excited.
No worries. We all do that. But seriously, great work.
Scene 3. Encouraging a friend.
You seem quiet today. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm just a little stressed lately.
I get it. Life can feel overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah, I've just got so much to do and not enough time.
Hey, don't be too hard on yourself. You're doing your best, and that's enough.
Thanks. I needed to hear that.
Anytime. You've got this.
Notice how real emotion makes the English language sound so much more alive. Fluency isn't just about pronunciation, it's about genuine connection. Scene 4. In an emergency.
Excuse me, can you help me? My friend just fainted.
Oh my gosh, is she breathing?
Yes, but she's really weak. Can you call an ambulance, please?
Yes, of course. Stay calm. Help is coming.
Thank you so much.
Don't worry, she's going to be okay.
In emergency situations, we tend to speak quickly but clearly. Your tone, clarity, and calmness matter more than perfect grammar. That is real English under pressure. Scene 5. A motivational conversation.
You've been working so hard lately.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm not improving fast enough.
Hey, don't say that. You are improving. Every small step counts.
Sometimes it's just hard to see the progress.
That's because you're in the middle of it. Others can see it more clearly than you can.
Maybe you're right.
Of course I am. You've come so far already. Just keep going. Fluency takes time, but you are definitely getting there.
Now, I want you to take a moment to reflect. Think about how far you have come on this journey. You've progressed from understanding simple structures to building confidence, rhythm, and natural speech. And now you are able to follow and shadow complex real-life conversations. That is a huge achievement. Fluency isn't about perfection. It's about being able to express yourself naturally, to connect with other people, and to speak and understand without fear. And that is exactly what you have been doing here. As you continue to practice, I encourage you to keep shadowing every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Listen, repeat, feel the rhythm, and let English become a natural part of your daily life. Remember, you are not just learning a language, you are building your voice, your confidence, and your connection to the global community. So be proud of yourself, my friend, and please keep practicing with me here on the Confident Speaking Podcast. If you enjoyed this masterclass and learned something valuable, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know which of these conversations felt the most natural for you to practice. Your journey to English fluency is really just beginning, and I will be right here to guide you every step of the way. Thank you for watching. Thank you for learning. And most importantly, thank you for believing in yourself. I will see you in the next lesson.
Thanks for tuning in to Confident Speaking Podcast. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to Master English Fluency.